Hello students. Now this time through this video we will read a very remarkable story written by H.G. Wells, Footprints Without Feet. This title of this story is the title of the book also. The full name of H.G. Wells is Herbert George Wells. He was a prolific English writer. He was born on 21st September 1866 in England and the fourth and last child of Joseph Wells. His beautiful creation, The War of the World, The Time Machine, and The Invisible Man, he died on 13th August 1946. Now, this story is about an eccentric scientist Griffin, who has made himself invisible by swallowing a rare drug. His landlord did not like him, so he set his house to fire. But it was a cold weather mid winter seasons in London, and he could not live without clothes. Now he could see everyone, but none could see him. Two boys were surprised to see a muddy footprint without feet. They chased the prints and suddenly the footprints disappeared altogether. The footprints were of a brilliant but lawless scientist named Griffin, who had discovered a rare drug to make the body invisible. After setting his landlord's house on fire, he became a landless, homeless wanderer. He slept He slept inside a big London store for the want of warmth and food. He enjoyed a good meal, clothes, wine, etc. Next day, he could not wake up in time, and the store attendants chased him but he again became invisible by removing his cloth. After this, he entered a theoretical company where he dressed up fully and looted some money from the shopkeeper. He went to Epping village and hired a room at an inn of this village. He had no money, his money is finished, and this time he robbed the money from a clergyman's house. Mr. and Mrs. Hall inspected his room and found none. Suddenly, the chair pushed them out of the room. The scientist was suspected for robbery. When he produced some ready cash, Mrs. Hall's suspicion became stronger, and the village constable was called and sent for Mrs. Hall. Could not wait, and she started asking him questions. The scientist lost his temper and threw off the bandages and the spectacles and became a headless man. All were frightened. The constable, Mr. Jaffers, tried to arrest him but was knocked down and became unconscious. Thus, once again, the scientist escaped from there. Now, the theme of the story is, as we earlier noticed, this story is about an eccentric scientist he is invisible when he is swallowing his newly invented rare drugs. Griffin wanted to take revenge from his landlords and set his house to fire, and it was a cold winter of London. He could not live without clothes, so he slept inside a big London store for warmth. And from there, he enjoyed food and new clothes. The next morning, the store assistants chased him, but he took off his clothes and became invisible. After this, he entered a theatrical company and dressed him up and robbed the shopkeeper. Then he went to Epping to spend peaceful life. His money was spent and he stole the housekeeping money of a clergyman. Mr. and Mrs. Hall, the owner of the inn, visited his room and suddenly the furniture became alive. It threw them out of the room. Now everybody suspected Griffin. When Mrs. Hall asked him about it, he grew angry and turned off his bandage. He became headless. He became headless. All were frightened there. The village constable was sent for. He tried to catch him, but Griffin knocked him unconsciously and became invisible again. Thank you.